episode 47 of the 3 Countdown Podcast. My name is Era V1. We are coming to you hot off the heels of AEW Full Gear. Looking forward to WWE Survivor Series. We got War Games, and we are approaching the end of the college football season. Last week, I was joined by the Big Justice and, what's the other one? Big Justice and Big AJ of Detroit. This week, we got the full Costco guy universe. We got Michael, Jack, and FGK. I'll let you decide which one's the Rizzler.
Ew. If I'm the Rizzler, I quit.
I quit life. There's no coming back from that. Is football season on to something brighter? Is football season already on the downhill?
There's absolutely nothing going on this Saturday at 12 o'clock. The only thing I'll be doing this Saturday at 12 o'clock is clocking into work and working an entire shift and making money and not doing anything else. Hi, my name's Jackal. This is the last official week of the college football season. Last week was it is famously known as Cupcake Week. This week is famously known as Rivalry Week. This week, much better for everybody else in the world. I got plans going on during this Saturday at 12 o'clock. I'm not going to be doing much of nothing. Not watching football, no siree. So you want to talk about wrestling?
Yeah. So this is the one time I think I'm forced to root for Ohio State. I don't know anymore. I just hate John Harbaugh, and he's not there. Do I care anymore? I don't know.
Well, we can talk about the rivalry matches later because I'm ready to kick some
Can we have
turf ass
Ohio
this
beat
week.
the Chargers?
We'll get the football, sir. Hold on.
We're not.
Put a pin in that.
2 minutes into the episode.
I'm just thinking. I'm hardwired to think.
Jesus.
Yeah, we have to talk about
Harbaugh to lose.
Listen, we have to talk about the thing that was probably the saddest from this weekend for people that apparently only watch internet stuff.
The biggest AEW injury of the year has happened.
It has, and I don't know how to feel about it.
AEW is absolutely ruined. Mike, would you like to break the news?
Yeah.
Can we guess?
You guys want to guess?
I mean, you can. It happened during
big
a match.
AEW star, giant injury.
John Moxley broke his shin.
No.
Nope.
Big
Shins are good.
Boomage pulled a groin walking down into the ring because his cholesterol was too high.
The Rizzler, I don't know, got diabetes.
God, what do you mean? He probably already had.
He had that long before AEW. AEW has nothing to do with the Rizzler's diabetes.
Are you guys ready? I don't want you to cry when I tell you.
I got nothing. I don't know.
Oh no, Sammy Guevara's hurt again?
No, he pulled his own groin.
He did.
Big Boom AJ broke his tootsies during the match.
He broke his foot.
He broke his foot.
Yep.
He broke his foot with a double axe handle off the top handle or off the top rope.
Off the double axe handle off the top handle.
Yeah, double top rope off the jump handle.
Oh no, he tried to hit
I've been having strokes all day, dude. This is gonna be a hell of an episode.
He tried to hit the flying chocolate chip cookie and ended up breaking his little tootsies.
He tried to bring the boom.
No.
He tried to bring the boom.
Oh God. No wonder when airport security got him, he was wearing a boot. That makes so much more sense now.
Hey, he finished that match with a broken foot.
Oh, what a hero.
Wow, he had the hour-long barn burner with QT Marshall, dude.
Yeah,
what an absolute champion. I hope Meltzer already gave it 5 stars, because that'd be something that he'd fucking cream his shorts over.
Oh, God, his toes were broken.
Because of that match.
Huh?
He did it with a broken toe.
Ew.
5 stars.
Dave, please stop. Dave, I don't want you.
5.5 fucking stars. I haven't seen anything that good since Okada in Japan.
Wait, Okada was just watching it. 5.5 stars.
I am uncomfortable with what we have created today.
I'm fucking kidding.
I knew that this match was going to be off to a fucking amazing start when they signaled for the bell to be rung, and the Rizzler did not ring the bell. And the cameraman had to, you saw the cameraman's like hand peek into the side of the frame, and he did like a little like tap on the side of the camera. And Big Show, who was on special guest commentary, because of course Big Show was on special guest commentary for this match. Of course he was. He like reached over to Rizzler and he was like, "Ring the bell, buddy, ring the bell."
Jesus.
So an amazing start.
I've had plenty of jobs where I've worked with kids in the past. Like famously, I was known as a soccer coach on the hit team, the Remember the Titans memorial team. And I've worked with kids quite a bit, so I can understand how kids his age act. And just seeing the way he was moving and how he was acting, I don't know if anybody else could read this. That fucking kid looked like he would rather be anywhere else in the world except a fucking AEW show, dude.
I feel like he was going, so where's John Cena? When does he get here?
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, kid. That's another company, bud.
I saw a clip of the Rizzler and Big Justice and our Lord and Savior, praised be her name, Sasha Christ. They were all doing the dance that Sasha does, the one she takes her hands and goes up and down.
Think about that.
Yeah, she got kids to do that. First of all, that feels a little wrong. But watching the Rizzler really looked checked out at that point.
Oh yeah. If he wasn't a child, I would imagine he would stoned off his ass the whole night. But he turns out like 6.
To that kid's credit, whenever the camera was on him, he did his dumb little gimmick.
He did.
So I mean, props to him.
He hit his gimmick.
He got that shit over like Rover, dude.
I was trying to find numbers of like, during the pre-show, did the pre-show viewership go up? Did their pay-per-view buys go up? Like, was there anything tangible where I could see the Costco guys affected AEW sales? I could not. I did find, so AEW right now, they're in this very weird state where the top 3 social media clips this year in order are Cody Rhodes winning the championship, CM Punk returning at Survivor Series, which is a year old to the day that we're recording this.
Oh.
And
happy anniversary.
I thought I felt depressed today.
Yeah. And Big Justice and Big AJ showing up on AEW Dynamite last week.
Oh, God.
Those are the top 3 most viewed wrestling clips of 2024.
Hold on. No. Joe Hendry should be on this list in NXT. His shit got like 18 million.
Not on the list that I was looking at. Maybe the tweet's wrong.
Big Chocolate Chunk got like 18 billion.
Hey, regardless, the Costco guys pulled in 10 million views on their social media clips. And that was before all the clips from their match came out.
It's so funny to me because I've made this realization over the course of me having absolute flame wars in the comments of videos with apparent huge Costco guy marks out there in the world. Their only argument now afterwards is, you idiots, look, it's doing its job. ESPN is talking about it. Sports Center is talking about it. It got millions and millions of views. Okay. Is that going to translate to ticket sales? Is that going to translate to pay-per-view buys? Is that going to translate to people buying more shirts? Or is that just a mom and her kid going, Mom, look, the chocolate chip cookie guy wrestled a match and he broke his fucking foot because he's so fat when he jumped off the top rope. Wow, honey, that's great. Anyways, back to my scrolling. And then they never think about it ever again.
I mean, the way that I'm thinking about it is, and myself, FGK, and Jackal, well, Jackal not so much as me, but we are very familiar with the idea of getting a clip on something that's viral just for the sake of getting the clip and putting it out there. People interact with your TikTok, but they don't go to whatever you're trying to pull them through. We try to do it with our streams and stuff like that. So, like, that's all AEW is doing. They're getting interaction on their social media. They're getting interaction on Instagram and YouTube and all of that, but they're not actually getting any actual, like, pull through to their pay-per-view from this. No. It's just an impression.
I feel like they're just getting like a really good high right now. Like those ratings went up, and then next week they're gonna be right back down. Be like, okay, who can we bring next? Who's that spit chick? And then the cycle repeats.
This just in, now booked because of FGK. Hawk Tua Girl versus Sasha Christ for the title at Wrestle Dream.
I don't know what's going on over here, but either somebody's setting off fireworks or bombs. So, if I just disappear at some point.
Like in-game or real life?
Mike?
Oh, no, real life.
Oh, okay.
Well, shot the fuck up.
Mike, they're just trying to bring the boom, They're just trying to bring the boom to you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, but they're coming for me? Oh, God damn it.
Hide your double chocolate chunk cookies in your chicken bakes. But the rest of AEW Full Gear, it honestly was pretty good. I want to give AEW credit because for weeks we've been sitting here saying, AEW, they're not telling good stories. They don't actually try or anything like that. But I legitimately feel like they did with AEW Full Gear. I feel like they were telling the story of the AEW originals that haven't had their shot, haven't lived up to their opportunity. They did. We saw Private Party retain their AEW World Tag Team Championships. Sasha Christ stood by herself to defeat Chris Statlander. Sasha Christ told Camille to wait in the back. I don't know what's happening with Camille now. We had Kyle Fletcher defeating Will Ospreay, another example of somebody realizing their potential. Daniel Garcia finally winning the AEW TNT Championship.
Told you that dance wasn't right stupid, there. Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. So we're gonna have Jack Perry. We're gonna do a whole angle about how he makes this title from scratch. He loses. Fuck that title. It's gone forever.
Yeah. Immediately during the press conference, they had just a regular looking championship. One of the things that I've always liked about the TNT Championship is that it has been customized, right? Like it's had different color schemes for the most part. Jack Perry really kind of took it and turned it into something that was really unique.
Is Daniel Garcia's just gonna auto hip thrust?
Please.
During his like media scrum thing, he said he's not interested in a custom belt because it's a championship and he wants it to look like a championship. That's kind of what it means to me, is that he's boring and he doesn't have any original ideas. Because at the very least, change the strap color. It doesn't have. You're not making it into a piece of merch, but you can change. His nickname is Red Death. Change the strap color to red. Every other champion has done this. Even Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee. Huh?
Why shouldn't his nickname be Stupid Thrust or something?
It was his nickname for Ring of Honor. It was his nickname for Ring of Honor. Red Death.
Facing Bryan Danielson was the Dragon Killer.
Oh, yeah. He's
had a lot of cool
names for that dude.
That's just it. He's a really good wrestler, but man, did they make him just bland as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I hope that at least him having the AEW TNT Championship, I hope that means that he's at least gonna, get a lot more time to build a character and actually become somebody that's not just a good wrestler, because he is a great wrestler. He can have amazing matches. He really can turn that championship into something if they let him actually build himself. Because,
yes.
He's one of those guys that would be a great mid-carder in WWE, So, he needs to get that extra little bit behind him.
But a great wrestling talent, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Ricochet?
Well,
no, I said wrestling talent, not.
No, yeah.
And dancing talent. Mm-hmm. Well, I agree. I concur.
Ricochet, though, he is the new AEW International Champion, defeating Konosuke Takeshita. All right, no, yeah, Takeshita defeated him. Never mind, you're right. Yeah, I'm fucking stupid.
Disregard.
You're right. Nope, disregard that.
How can we call ourselves a credible news source podcast if we can't get it fucking right?
We never called it a credible news source.
Their match was pretty good. Yeah. I don't think it was either of their best by far.
No. I think Ricochet is really going to have a good opportunity here in the next couple of weeks, or I guess couple of months. I don't really know how long it's going to take, but I guess a while in this Continental Classic, this tournament that AEW is doing for the second year in a row here. We're going to get Ricochet with some interesting combinations. We're going to get Ricochet versus Darby Allin, or Darby Allin.
Good old Ricochet. Darby Allin.
We're going to get Ricochet versus Darby Allin. We're going to get Ricochet versus Claudio versus Will Ospreay versus Brody King and versus Juice Robinson.
Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. How come we didn't get that?
Well,
we did.
We're getting. I think in the Continental Classic, I think it's going to be Ricochet Ospreay 4 or something like that.
Woo! Oh boy.
Let's just run it back.
You know what I want from them? I want them to completely fuck with people's brains and have like the most technical wrestling match possible.
Oh yeah, just
just so like you come out like, you know how they do that like initial just doofy acrobat exchange where they both flip and land on their like in the superhero pose and then they stare at each other and the crowd chants.
Yes.
Yeah, I want that. And then after that, full blown like hold for hold wrestling match.
That would be a Bret Hart, Owen Hart fucking spectacle, dude.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. That'd be, I don't know.
That's just it. Everybody would watch it and everybody would just be so lost.
For me, I'm
like, this isn't what we expect from them. What's happening?
What the fuck is going on? They're not flipping.
For me, I'm really interested to see Ricochet versus Darby Allin. I feel like, to me, like they're both, high-flying guys in that regard. It's going to be cruiserweight versus cruiserweight. But to me, they're like completely different types of cruiserweights, where like Darby Allin is like just, he's more of like the Spike Dudley type. He's going to go out and he's known for doing crazy spots, and he's a small guy, so you can throw him around, whatever. He can take a lot of punishment. But then Ricochet's like fucking, like a fucking superhero. So it's going to be...
If we're going to speak of crazy spots, and this is kind of jumping to the end, but the car crash...
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And Darby just decides, no, I don't need a stunt, man. I'll just drive my car into another car at full speed.
Was that actually Darby that did that?
Yeah, they confirmed that was actually Darby.
Jeez. So Jackal and Kev, to fill you guys in, at the end of Full Gear, obviously Jon Moxley defeated Orange Cassidy, so Jon Moxley still the AEW World Champion.
Naturally.
But at the end of the match, they kind of, they did all their stuff where, Jon Moxley's beating him up and all that kind of stuff, and then, they kind of started teasing who was coming out next. So Hangman comes out, and that's why I was like, oh man, we're going to get like pissed off murder cowboy Hangman versus Jon Moxley. This is going to be a fucking bloodbath. Then Christian Cage comes out. He acts like he's probably actually was going to try. Christian Cage has like their equivalent of the Money in the Bank contract. So he was going to try to cash in on Mox. But they don't
become a thing.
It's the dead dad in the bank.
Okay.
A few years ago, they started it.
Yeah, they literally call it the next AEW champion contract.
Wow, straight and to the point.
Yeah. But instead of them cashing it in AEW, they don't cash it in. They have to sign it because it's a contract. So he couldn't find a pen, so he couldn't sign the contract. Actually, what commentary was saying, they were like, well, no one's going to give him a pen. No one wants Christian Cage to be the champion. He's like, give me a pen. Give me a pen. I need to sign this. Anyway, they do all their bullshit of everyone running down the ring and all of that. So they teased Mox versus Hangman. They teased Mox versus Christian Cage. They teased Mox versus Switchblade. Or at least that's what people are saying. I don't think they were actually teasing Mox versus Switchblade. I think they were mostly doing like Switchblade might help Hangman win, so that way Switchblade can challenge Hangman for the championship kind of thing. Like the enemy of the enemy is my friend. And then at the end of all of this, the John Moxley's group, the Death Riders, they're walking back to their truck that they pulled up in, and right before they're about to get in the truck, Darby Allin in a fucking beater comes flying down at 90 miles an hour and T-bones the fucking truck.
Jesus!
Oh, yeah. I thought there was a stunt driver. Apparently, there's not.
Good God, man!
Why would you let
Tony
him
Khan
do
came
that?
out and confirmed, like, Darby was just like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean,
he got in this car that he customized himself and just flew into that truck at full speed.
Yeah. Why would you let him do that?
Because he wants to climb Mount Everest. He's Darby Allin, okay?
Why do you need to do that?
Because he's Darby Allin. like you can. There are plenty. I understand you want to crash the car. That's not what I'm saying. I want to clarify that. I'm not saying why do you need to do that. As in, like, why do you need to crash the car into John Moxley's truck? I get it. It's Darby Allin. Darby Allin. Apparently, his name is Darby Allin now. It's Darby Allin and John Moxley. I get it. Like, I get that these two dudes want to kill each other and all of that. Why have Darby in the seat? They have wires and things that there are ways to make a car crash into another car without anybody being involved. Why would you do that?
This man is a method actor. Don't question him.
And he's a method actor, all right.
The Greyhound wasn't available either, too. So that was another kind of fold to the situation.
I think he was maybe trying to find the Greyhound. Yeah. That was Full Gear. I mean, I honestly, legitimately, I thought Full Gear was very, very good.
One of my problems with it is that, and I get that they're doing the whole, Death Riders are gonna take over and, be this big, so scary faction, run the whole thing, and we gotta make a team to stop them. And maybe these two teams can compete in an event. And I was like, are they just copying now down the road fucking Survivor Series? Is that what we're getting?
Yeah, it's gonna be Blood and Guts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're just gearing up for Blood and Guts, and I'm like, ugh. And we're gonna have the Death Riders against this ragtag team that's probably gonna be Orange Cassidy again, Darby Allin, Hangman, and Jay White or some shit.
It would be the conglomeration, I think, because it would be.
God, I hope not.
Well, that's who saved Orange Cassidy before. So if they're still going the same route, it would be his friends.
That's what I mean though, is all the people that came out at the end. I was like, it seems like they're getting involved for no reason right now.
Yeah.
What? No.
And for those of us who don't know what a conglomeration is,
it is. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought that was that style of toothbrush.
No, that's Colgate. No,
that's Colgate. Tooth tune.
Then I got nothing.
No, the conglomeration is Mike, correct me if I'm wrong because it's a big group. Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Willow Nightingale. No, Kyle. Oh, not Kyle Fletcher. O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly. Sorry, the other guy. The other Kyle.
Damn.
All Kyles do look alike, so it makes sense.
Willow Nightingale, Tomohiro Ishii. Yes. I think Chuck Taylor until he got his ankle shattered into a billion pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Chuck Taylor takes about 3 steps and immediately falls apart.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to say Sasha Banks.
Hey, do not take the Lord's name in vain. It's Sasha Christ.
Sorry, Sasha Christ.
I feel like we've definitely edged towards... I don't want Sasha to hear that. I mean, just a little bit. Yeah, who isn't, honestly, nowadays? One of these days, Tony Khan's going to hear this guy. Sasha, I have this great idea for you. There's this podcast out there. They're really popular. They're really popping off right now. No, not Big Chunk Cookie Man. They call you Sasha Christ. We're going to do this whole shebang, and then she's be like, they do love me. Like, no.
No, we don't.
It's the opposite. It's not
I need royalties then. This is my fucking brainchild here. God darn it.
That's a good point. If they want to throw a little scratch our way, then I wouldn't let us. Gotta
get the t-shirt.
Our way.
Yeah, your brainchild. I said it first.
No, you did the Sasha. Christ, I ignited this fire. You simply stoked something that was already burning, my friend.
And yet somehow I feel like it's all of me.
Oh,
I feel I did it.
Yeah, okay, pal.
I fully believe you're the person that would take full credit for it.
Yes, yeah. Wait, who? Fuck's that supposed to mean?
Your self-awareness just astonishes me sometimes.
Fuck's that supposed to mean? What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Why does that make sense for me? What the fuck are you trying to say?
You know how we should settle this debate? We should have each of you divide into 2 different teams of 5 people each, and we'll put 2 rings together side by side. We'll surround it by a steel cage. We'll put 2 shark cages up behind the ring for dramatic effect, and then we'll have 2 people start in the ring, and then after the first 5 minutes, everybody will start coming out to the ring, and then after 2 minutes, another person comes down to the ring, and that alternates per team until everyone's in the ring, and then once everyone's in the ring, the match starts, and that is a War Games match, which you can watch today at 6:00.
I thought we were gonna call it Cracker Games. That's War Games sounds a lot cooler.
Nope,
really
can't call it that one.
Yes, it is this weekend. Isn't it like always famously the Saturday after Thanksgiving?
Yes. So if you are listening to this on the day that it comes out, November 30th, War Games is tonight at 6:00 because they are in fucking Vancouver.
Gross.
So yeah,
Canada.
that means we don't get a normal start time. As of right now, quick disclaimer, as of right now, at the time of recording, Monday night, before Monday Night Raw, only 3 matches are announced. So I know WWE likes to do their 5-match stuff, so we may be missing 2, but they haven't put them on the card yet, so they're going to get the same treatment that Tony Khan does, and if you're not prepared, then neither are we. So they get 3 matches. But we have, honestly, an amazing 3 matches lined up. And the War Games matches are going to take fucking forever. So there may only be 3 matches. Starting off, we got the women's War Games match. We have 2 all-star teams. We have on the women's side, we have Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley versus the Judgment Day, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae.
Okay. All right. It's like, I am so sorry. I love this woman to death. One of my most favorite female wrestlers of all time. Godzilla, King Kong, Mothra, Optimus Prime, and Candice LeRae. Like, what the fuck is that tag team? Candice LeRae seemed so out of place there.
I mean, wasn't she in quite a few NXT War Games matches?
Well, and also, to be fair for her, WWE has nerfed her to absolute oblivion because she used to beat the shit out of herself and other people on the indies daily.
Wasn't she one of the first and only people to take the thumbtack super kick from the Young Bucks?
Yeah, she was one of the few.
Right? Yeah. Like, she is a badass, dude. Candice LeRae is one of my favorite fucking wrestlers of all time, but holy cannoli, it just, her in this story makes no sense to me.
So the way they included her is the fact that she pinned Bayley, then she pinned, fucking somebody else. Naomi, I think. So they're like, look at her, all of a sudden she's a competitor now. And she's the speed champion, I think. So they're like, look, she's a champion.
It's a speed championship, that matters.
Recently, like, she's only just now started gaining traction.
Oh, yeah. Past couple of weeks.
Got it. Okay, I follow. Yeah. And also, I saw that Jade Cargill got attacked, and now she looks like that SpongeBob character whose whole body is wrapped in bandages now, or...
Yeah, Jade Cargill found mysteriously on the hood of a car bloody. They gave her like a laundry list of injuries.
Yeah.
They said, let's see here. She has.
You start looking up some of the injuries, and you're like, that's just a bruise.
Oh
that's like
yeah. So
that's like a pulled muscle.
So here's what WWE's Twitter put out. Breaking. Jade Cargill has been diagnosed with the following injuries: deep lumbar paraspinal muscle contusions, bruised kidney,
which
sprained MCL in her right knee, tibial plateau bone bruise of her right knee, facial lacerations. There is no timetable for her return.
Oh no, poor baby. Oh no,
I mean, and it's just a picture of her like fucking on the hood of the car.
Oh, how could they do this to Corey Jade?
Guys, I know the firest of guys would be able to break down some of those injuries probably a little more, but none of them are, even when you like, the MCL sprain is the worst one, I believe, and it's obviously still not real. Quote unquote,
no, none of her injuries are real now.
But like when you break down all of them, that's like the worst one she has.
Yeah, and even then, a MCL sprain would probably even be like what, a couple of weeks at max. Like, it's not.
Yeah, they'd probably be like, hey, don't walk on it.
Like that MCL sprain.
If it were a real injury, yeah.
In my unprofessional medical opinion, fucking MCL sprain, basically code word for she'll be back at the Rumble, guys. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think as far as an actual pick'em goes, I feel like I'm gonna go with the bad girls here, simply due to the fact of what's going to happen later on that same evening. I mean, this evening, because this is coming out Saturday. And I feel if the bad girls pick up a win, that kind of solidifies them as more of a badass type of deal. You get what I mean?
Put some credibility behind them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now you're getting it.
Make them a team.
Oh, are we actually doing pick'ems?
It's tonight.
Yeah.
I think because, well, yeah, give me Rhea Ripley's team.
That's fair.
Because I think Io's going to do something fucking nuts again because she's Io.
It's true. Io in a War Games match. That's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking nuts.
She's going to put a trash can over her head again.
I love that shit. FGK.
I have thought long and hard about this match. Stephanie McMahon's going to come out of the ground in a steel chair and just lay to waste every person there.
Is she going to emerge like Kane or like?
Yeah, she's going to like,
or like Undertaker
with her nails. She's going to like scratch her way out. She's going to pull the steel chair out and just go to town. And then they're going to say, "Oh my God, no one can continue." Stephanie McMahon wins again, and that's my pick. If that doesn't happen, then Rhea Ripley.
Oh. Okay. Well, all right. About to say, I mean, I feel like Stephanie McMahon wins no matter what, considering, she kind of directly profits off the success of the company. Realistically,
Stephanie always wins.
Jackal, I'm kind of leaning with you here. I'm liking the bad girls winning, giving some credibility. I would really like to see Tiffany Stratton get the win. Or at least get the pinfall, maybe not actually do the work, but at least kind of slither in and get the pinfall. I feel like, they've been showing like she's trying to cash in on Nia and then she doesn't, and then Nia confronts her and she backs down, and all of that stuff just kind of makes her character look a little weak. So I think, if you have her at least get some sort of, pinfall or maybe a submission, or she has the moonsault. I don't know if she's going to do a fucking moonsault from the cage, but maybe, like maybe something like that, a big spot, could be a really interesting way to close that and get her some credibility. And because, I mean, she's destined to be the next WWE Women's Champion. So it's only a matter of time. Hey, maybe Tiffany Stratton hits Nia Jax during the match, Maybe, who knows? Can you cash in a Money in the Bank contract mid-match on your teammate?
That's what I was going to say. My hopeful theory is that, you know, the match is getting crazy. Io does her massive spot. She rolls off of Nia, and as soon as she does, here comes Tiffany with her moonsault, cashing in 1, 2, 3. She wins. She runs away, and then the match finishes, and the good guys win.
Okay. If that happens, I will be happy with it. Regardless, I hope the real winner of the match is Tiffany Stratton. So I'm gonna have to go with the bad guys here. And then, you know, we kind of have in between these two War Games matches. We'll leave the men's for the main event, but the odd match out here for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Damian Priest. I don't know why this is on a War Games card.
I think that reaction alone kind of speaks volumes about the quality of this match right now.
Nothing like it's a really, 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 really good match, right? Like, but I see that as like a Raw main event. Well,
not a Raw main event, but like build a pay-per-view around it, because I mean, you're trying to build Damian Priest up to be a competitor again after Gunther took the title from him, and it's like, okay, you had a couple pretty good like interviews and promos, awesome,
and then they paired him with Rhea Ripley.
Definitely not going to be your main event. So what's the point?
I kind of think this circles back to a bigger issue here, that I understand that there are some people out there in the wrestling world that kind of fell in love with Damian Priest more through, you know, the title reign that he had and his various defenses, and how like his promo when he was going up against Gunther, when he was talking about like I am street trash and like I'm proud of it. That's who I am. I embrace it. Blah 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 blah. Like a very embridled, impassioned promo. Unfortunately, that, in my opinion, never really resonated with me, unfortunately, and I just have never gotten behind Priest. Like, I enjoy him, I enjoy his work, I enjoy what he does. However, that does not automatically equate to this guy needs to be world champion in my eyes. So,
well, and I don't think he'll win. But
no, I'd never said you did say that.
They went, all right, he's going to have an awesome promo backstage. Fucking sweet. All right, he's going to have an awesome promo in the ring. Fucking sweet. Cool, what about the match? Guys, are we going to put him in a match? Okay. Guys, match? No,
yes,
no match?
No, maybe so.
Okay. Not a single match for Damian Priest, besides for, like, I think one in the last month. And it's like, okay, so we're just going to build promos, not show him in the ring? Wouldn't that kind of help? A little bit?
That circles back to a whole nother issue. We'll talk about that later. I got one I want to talk about.
I don't know necessarily.
I told you to go to the doctors to get it looked at.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I don't know necessarily if... I don't know necessarily if either of our... or if any of the primary champions are really going to change anytime soon. So yeah, I don't think Damian Priest has a legitimate shot.
No, God, no. It's Gunther all the way, with how dominant he was with the IC, and especially after him taking a loss to Cody at Blood Money on top of that too. No, I think it's Gunther here, and I think it's Gunther by 1,000,000, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a fucking squash match, in my opinion. That's so awesome. Now, FGK, how is Shane McMahon going to win this one?
Well, I was going to say Sammy Hogan, but he's not in the match. So.
No, Sammy's in the next match.
Oh, phew. Well, I mean, since we already had Snefty come up from the bottom, Shane McMahon's going to jump from the rafters. He's going to jump onto Gunther, but he's going to miss. He's going to hit Damian Priest, and then he's going to then he's going to lose. And then but he's almost going to win, and then he gets screwed by Shane McMahon.
He's going to look real good.
He's going to look real good. And what else is going to look real good is the third match on this card. The the match that up until last week we only knew 4 people. Now we know all 5, and it looks like it's going to be a banger because we got for the men's War Games match, just like last year, we got the Bloodline, baby. We got Roman Reigns, we got the Usos, and we got Sammy Uso. That's right. Sammy's back with the Bloodline, and then they're joined by a 5th man. Who could that 5th man be? Don't worry. It is the OG Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk, here to help Roman Reigns, the newest Paul Heyman guy. This is the story that people have always wanted. And then on the other side, you have the shitty Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Jacob Fatu, and Bronson Reed, who, hey, he's also Samoan, so I guess he fits the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Not on Hawaii, though. Not on Hawaii. Just a Samoan. But Tama Tonga and Tongaloa are Tongan. They're not even Samoan. So, like, the new Bloodline, I think you just have to be a Pacific Islander. I'm not really sure on the criteria here. The OG Bloodline, though, it looks like you either just have to be friends with them or know Paul Heyman.
Why not both?
I'm sure probably both. I'm sure Sami Zayn's probably friends with Paul Heyman.
I cannot overstate how excited I am that it was CM Punk and, in fact, not Brock Lesnar. I cannot fathom that there are still wrestling fans out there in this world right now that are clamoring and wanting and bitching and moaning and bitching for Lesnar to come back. I hope he stays gone. I'm so excited that it's CM Punk. I think this match is going to absolutely freaking deliver. Match-wise, I think this quality is going to be better than last year's. I don't know if they're going to have, surprises at the same quality that last year did. Maybe besides a guy named Dwayne. But other than that, I think this year's going to be a freaking banger. Give me the good guys in CM Punk. Maybe with a little bit of Seth Rollins interaction, who knows? Regardless, I think the good guys get a win moving on forward, just setting up for a very interesting WrestleMania season.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's good guys again. No, you know what? I'm actually gonna take the flip on this. I lied. I'm gonna flip flop here. But it's gonna be for the same reason you were hoping might happen. I think Seth Rollins is gonna come out. He's probably gonna jump CM Punk.
Oh,
and that's gonna start the Punk Rollins rivalry, not rivalry.
Rivalry. Just with Darby Allin.
Yeah, Darby Allin's going to help Seth Rollins start the rivalry. But yeah, I think that's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little sniff of Dewanta Claus, as he calls himself, during the holiday season.
Don't call him Dewanta Claus.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
That's not fake. That's a real thing.
No, he doesn't actually call himself Dewanta Claus, does he?
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I need to go see Red One. Oh, shit.
Do you?
I don't know.
I don't know if I should, man. I've heard it's bad, but also I want to go see it because I kind of like bad movies,
Well, it sounds like it'll deliver on that front.
Wasn't Red One the one that was like delayed because he was caught like pissing in bottles and having PAs throw it out?
Oh,
or was that the one that was delayed because of the actor strike?
Yeah, I thought that was just like a Tuesday for The Rock.
Oh, I don't know.
That might have been the actor strike. I think the timetable works out. I don't know. I'm a bit behind on my Dwayne movies.
Yeah, so I'm massively behind. I stopped at like Fast 4 or whatever. Stopped at Tooth Fairy. When did that come out?
I think was that before or after the Game Plan?
Oh, that's a good question.
When was Scorpion King?
Regardless, who do you have for the wrestling match there, FGK?
Now, this one was tricky, but I think I figured it out. So it's not going to be Stephanie. I know. It's
not going to be Stephanie, and it can't be. It can't
it's not going to be Shane either because he
was
broke
last
his knees
match
again, jumping from the rafters. No, it's going to be Brock Lesnar, and he's going to debut his brand new finisher, Hot Piss, and he's going to pin Roman Reigns, and then he's going to just look for the title.
Allegedly,
he's got his new signature. No, his signature allegedly finisher hot piss. It's like
his alleged signature.
And then he's gonna look at Paul, say, "Where's my title?" And he sees, and there's not one. And then he walks off and goes home and to his moose or whatever. I don't know.
Oh boy, the views of FGK do not reflect the views of the 3 Counting Out podcast.
They do reflect Brock Lesnar, though.
Allegedly, they reflect Brock Lesnar. Allegedly. He's a very big man. I'm very scared. No, I'm glad that it's CM Punk and not Seth Rollins in this match.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to have the same level of surprises that they had last year. CM Punk is in the match this year. He wasn't last year for a very specific reason. So you're never going to be able to recreate that. But what you are going to be able to see this year is Jacob Fatu in his element. He thrives and shines. Huh?
I said we're 100% getting a moonsault off the top from him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's doing the moonsault off the top. He is an absolute fucking insane man. Jacob Fatu, legitimately, I legitimately does not give a fuck and will hurt himself for the enjoyment of others. He's like Darby Allin, but a little bit safer. So I think, when it comes to putting him in an environment like War Games, he's going to do very, very well. And a lot of people are starting to become fans of Jacob now because of his "I love you" solo. He's screaming it all the time. "I love you solo," always. And he's doing like the fucking wise man thing and shit. People just like him at a surface level right now. But I think after this War Games match, I think people are going to realize that Jacob Fatu is a fucking beast. And I was super excited when he got signed to WWE because we got to see him in stuff like this. And he has such a long career ahead of him. So he's going to do an amazing job this War Games match. He's going to have probably Hell in a Cells down his blood future, maybe. Maybe they bring back the fucking Punjabi prison or whatever. He'll probably have some bloodline rules. This dude's going to be in no DQ for a very long part of his career. So tomorrow, tonight, whenever the fuck this comes out, whatever time it is, I don't know anymore, he's going to absolutely destroy that match. And I'm not going to like it, but the new bloodline is going to win. And we're going to have to stand there, and we're going to have Solo stand there in his daddy's suit and raise his hand up in the air and go, "Acknowledge me!" And Tamatonga will go, yeah. And that's what we get.
Verbatim, actually. It's the same noises that they're going to make, too. I love it.
Yeah, verbatim. But no, Jacob Fatu is going to destroy it. So that's going to be a hell of a War Games match for sure. I'm glad WWE has brought back blood. It's going to be great.
I think the most important thing is that this is going to be a very interesting paper to watch because this will be the last one that we get before the eventual jump over to Netflix because, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no pay-per-views in December?
Yeah, this is the last WWE pay-per-view for 2024.
I mean, I guess unless you consider Saturday Night Main Event one.
Yeah. Mike, that's...
It's not a pay-per-view. It's a television special.
You're a funny guy. I don't care what they say. That's hilarious.
It's the equivalent of Fight for the Fallen. It's their television special.
Which, they just announced something for Fight for the Fallen too. Oh, that's going to be their first streaming on Max.
It's the mother of all simulcasts, Mike. the mother of all simulcasts is what Tony Khan is calling it.
I don't want to get my my lingo mixed up. Have Tony Khan come and throw his cocaine on me or something.
Careful. He might have left some of that in Jersey.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I think Rizzler got some?
I hope not. Or maybe that was the reason why they were detained by airport security. I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually.
Who knows?
Too many chocolate chunk cookies.
The thing that I wanted to discuss is that I brought it up earlier. I forget what we were talking about. It's just they're making another women's mid-card title. So, Era, when we were talking about the United States one, you actually got it on the nose that they were going to make a women's intercontinental.
Of course.
I don't know. I'm already super, not really excited for the United States one in the first place. And don't get me wrong, I love women's wrestling. I think women's wrestling sometimes can be better than men's wrestling. Like, the thing that stands out to me was how the women's Rumble was leaps and bounds better than the men's Rumble this year. So women's wrestling has a chance and often does end up being better than the men's wrestling. It's just, I think, with how little TV time that they have or gonna get, like, I understand that Netflix is, a streaming service that they can film such a huge backlog. Oh, it was when Priest was doing nothing except backstage interviews. Anybody want to share me what time they have to help out two more mid-card champions on main TV? All these 3-4 match pay-per-view cards. You guys really want to put some mid-card women's titles on there when you already don't give women's tag team wrestling a shot? When you already don't have enough women's wrestlers to fill out both the main roster women's scene or the main event women's scene and the women's tag event scene? Like, you can't keep doing this, dude. There's no time for any of this.
What worries me about it is something you just said. They have a thin-ish roster. Like, it's very top stacked, and then everybody else just isn't built properly. So my worry, because we've seen how NXT has been run, is that they're going to just be like, well, look at all these stars that are already established. We'll cherry pick these, and then we'll just not have to worry about it. We'll just throw one of the titles on one of them, and we'll be fine.
Oh, it's definitely going to gut the NXT roster, and I feel like it's going to kind of fast track them bringing in more women into the WWE, which, again, I understand is not a bad thing. However, I do think that means that the women that they are going to be bringing in aren't to the quality that they should be having on the main roster. Just sort of having people for the sake of having people, like how AEW has titles for the sake of having titles, which is what I feel like this is going to. There were so many titles that FTW title, TBS title, TNT title, the tag team titles, the trios tag team titles, the intercontinental, the continental. Like, there's so many that it's hard for me to get invested into 18 different champions. It circles back to something I've said on previous episodes with WWE. When every show is a record-breaking show, are they really record-breaking shows anymore? Like, when half your roster is champions, are they fucking champions or what? Like, it kind of doesn't make it as important, in my opinion.
One good thing, and I think you have one women's mid-card title, you make it both shows, and then you don't call it the fucking United States and Intercontinental because you have zero ideas what to call it. Call it something creative. Do something else, make it look fantastic, and make it so it's like, this is defended on shows. Not pay-per-views, but on shows. So that way you have a belt that means something on TV, and be like, I work my ass off on TV daily, and that's why you throw it on somebody like Chelsea or Mia Yim or Candice, and you have them rep that belt, and they lose it to other people that are mid-card on TV, like they used to do back in the day, where, you know, a belt meant something instead of just like, well, it gets defended sometimes on pay-per-view and then they're going to hold it for another 6 months and then it'll get defended again, maybe, if we have time.
Yeah. This is what we've talked about before. This is what we've all said that we've wanted. You should have your mid-card titles be defended on your weekly main events, your Raws and your SmackDowns. Your singles championships, they are now PLEs. If you're going to have mid-card women titles, you need to show those mid-card women titles, and they need to be defended at the same frequency as the males' mid-card titles. Think of how often the Intercontinental is defended on Raw, right? They need to do that for the women's title as well. Because if they don't, if there's a discrepancy between these two titles, no one's going to give a shit about the women's title. They need to be held to the same, or the women's title needs to somehow be elevated over all of the history and lineage and everything of the men's title, which, good luck, because there's a lot of history there.
Mm-hmm.
And Triple H, I love you so much. I love you so much. You are so much better than the piece of shit that came before you. That does also not mean make another show. Please, I can only watch so much wrestling and be invested into so much wrestling. I don't need to watch a third and fourth show while also you trying to get me to watch this Netflix show and this WWE the Twitter show and this, that, and the third. Okay, I would like to change subjects now before I talk about this for the next fucking 2 hours.
Well, hey, let's change the subject, because Jackal, while you're a little fired up, I got a question for you, Jackal. I got a question for you.
Answer.
Okay, you're the coach of a football team. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Your team is down 30-0. Okay. Okay. Do you have your star rookie wide receiver out there when you're down 30-0?
Down 30. How much time is left in the game?
Not much.
That's an important question.
Not much time left in the game?
I think it was about 15 minutes.
So at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Beginning of the fourth quarter. I maybe have him in there for the beginning of the fourth quarter to see how that drive goes. And, you know, like, if we get 7 points, then yeah, sure, I'll keep you in. Maybe we can pull off a comeback. If we go 3 and out after that first drive, absolutely not. Like, you're done, man. We're gonna give other people some playing time here, friend, though.
Yeah, because that was the question that the Giants had to ask themselves this last weekend.
My God.
Malik Neighbors didn't see any playing time until the fourth quarter when the Giants were down 0-30 against the fucking Buccaneers.
Oh, I misunderstood your question then. Oh, I thought he was playing and then I pulled him. I didn't realize he hasn't.
Oh, no. You would have thought Malik Neighbors would have been playing during a football game. You would have thought.
Oh, no. Oh, sweetie. Oh, no, sweaty. Oh, God. They put Tony Danza out there. They put Tommy fucking Cutlets out there on the field and didn't give him his wide receiver one to throw to?
No. Yeah, he went 3 quarters without his wide receiver.
Holy shit, that organization needs to be fucking euthanized. The Giants need to be old Yellered.
Yeah. My favorite was the post-game interviews that Malik Neighbors was doing. And like ESPN was asking him, like, was there a reason why you weren't out there? Like, was something going on? And he was like, that wasn't my decision. People were like, all right, understood.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, and then did you see the other one where they went, so how do you feel that you lost? He's like, well, clearly we suck. We were the same with Daniel Jones or DG, he said, but he's like, and nothing's changed, so clearly wasn't him. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, clearly wasn't him.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Daniel Jones sucks frickin' donkey wang, but that doesn't mean he was the entirety of the the Jack Perry scapegoat for the New York Giants, dude. Like,
yeah.
Good Lord, man. You got a lot of other issues to fix in that organization besides your quarterback, man. I don't know. The Giants,
I love watching the Giants suffer.
I thought they had it. Well, of course you do. You're the bottom feeders of your division. Of course. That makes total sense. It's like a sad puppy that, just keeps breaking its legs every time it walks. And that's the one. Like, Kevin has sympathy for the Cowboys. I have sympathy for the Giants. It's like, oh, you're so fucking stupid, but you keep doing it to yourself, huh?
Kev, you have sympathy for the fucking Cowboys?
And there's other teams that I fear, and the fact that their season sucks now. I mean, I will say I have sympathy for them, but my hatred goes towards plenty of other teams, like Vikings fans, Chiefs fans, Taylor Swift. I have many more battles to fight than the Cowboys, whose season is so atrocious that they're debating on blowing up their stadium, and he's having a little pouty fit. I what do I care if I hate him or not? They hate themselves enough.
Their season was going bad, and then they won a game.
And they beat the commies.
Yeah, they won.
I can't wait for them to be like, see, we're back, and then they'll lose again, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, remember now.
Yeah, here we go. Shit, we lost again.
This will save the season. We'll win the number 1 seed. The Lions will lose out. The Cowboys win out. It's perfect. The Cowboys got this in the bag, baby. Tim the Tap Man.
All they needed was some curtains.
Oh, man. Who knew?
Brother, the first week they put those curtains up, they win.
What a fucking abysmal performance from Washington, dude. Like, that's sad. I understand that Jaden Daniels was, hurt. I understand he's not playing at his full capacity like he was before the rib injury. But, jeez, oh, Pete's, dude, that's... Like, you guys still could at least, given him a little bit of effort, the tiniest bit of effort to help him out. It just sort of feels like it's a one-man wrecking crew now. I believe Brian Robinson is hurt, so that's why they don't have a run game to help alleviate some of the stress off of the poor fucking kid. But my God, that doesn't mean your defense needs to take a 5-week-long fucking vacation as well, dude.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
I feel a little bit better about having the Commanders on our schedule still after watching that game.
Well, it's like it needs to be studied how they went from being one of the teams at the beginning of the season where it was like they might go all the way. Holy shit, this is terrifying. To all of a sudden, they're kind of the team where you're like, oh, whew, we have them on our schedule.
They're like a trap game now. It's like they could get you. They might not.
Depending on who shows up.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Like, Terry McLaurin still got, 100 some odd yards? 160 yards as a wide receiver or something? Still did phenomenal.
5 receptions for 102 yards. Terry McLaurin.
102. Yeah. So, still great. It's just that was their offer.
Yeah, that was the only thing they had to offer. I mean, they would have been able to tie the game, but I think the kicker kind of forgot how feet worked for a second and ended up woofing the thing, kicked the onside, and the Cowboys ran the fucking onside kickoff back for a fucking touchdown to make the score look a lot worse than it actually was.
The first successful onside kick of the season.
For the other team.
Yeah.
Because the first onside kick that was successful for the team kicking it happened up in the most nasty city of all time, the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings, unfortunately coming up short in overtime to the Vikings, 27-30. Caleb Williams, I will eat my words here when I say this. Caleb Williams actually had a very good day. I don't know if that was the Bears playing up to the Vikings or the Vikings playing down to Chicago. Regardless, Caleb had a very good day. Unfortunately for him, his defense forgot how to play football in overtime.
I don't know. If I was the Bears, I would not play Caleb Williams the rest of the year. I would sit him behind whoever the fuck the backup is, and then I'd just be like, dude, heal up, learn. You did the best you could this season. This is not your fault. It is our fault. I'm sorry. Rest up, get healthy, be better. We'll try and get you some help for next season. They're not going to do that. He's probably going to, get to it or something, but that's what they should do, because that man is going to be Deshaun Watson in like 3 years when he absolutely fucking hates the game because he's getting absolutely wrecked every play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't he like leading the team in rushing yards or whatever? Like, your quarterback should not be doing that.
Well, and he's also, I think, leading the league in sacks and quarterback hits.
It sounds about right for a quarterback that's running nonstop.
Well, it's also because he has to run for his life as soon as he gets the ball. He gets the ball and he takes off. Because if he stands there for a second,
he has no pocket.
Blown apart.
He has no pocket.
He's
being guarded by cardboard.
That's being generous. I don't get many things right in this world. But before this season started, I think Kevin asked me if Caleb Williams... Somebody asked me, it doesn't matter who. Somebody asked me if Caleb Williams was going to do good this season. And I said no. And it's no fault of his. It's because his fucking offensive line should be making my Whoppers at Burger King, not playing linemen in the NFL. His line is trash. They've already fired his starting offensive guard. They've already fired his fucking offensive coordinator. That's a good start. They need to look a little bit deeper. I hate the Bears. I think they should do poorly all the time because they are in our division. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Matt Eberflus ain't the fucking answer, bud. Eberflus is a terrible coach. Doesn't know how to fucking play call. Doesn't know how to draft. They got Caleb. Wow, boy, oh boy, you got your first round picks right. Okay, did you nail any other draft picks? No. What a coincidence! Almost like you guys don't know how to fucking do your jobs properly. Hey, I almost called him Costco. I was thinking about those chocolate chip cookies. Hey, Chicago, you get Eberflus out, you guys do a little bit better from your old pal Jackal. Don't say I never did anything for you.
But that's just it. I think, unfortunately, like the Cowboys, they need to go a lot further than just Eberflus. I think they really need to restructure pretty much everybody, because that team was ass before him. That team's going to be ass after him, because they just don't draft the right people. Never have, never will.
Nope, not at all. I think it's if we're going to get into it a little bit, I won't super delve, but the old lady who owns the Bears is the first one that should probably think about selling the team. She won't, because that's how stubborn old people are. But
they're old. They're owned by an old lady.
I believe so. I'm talking shit like fucking Martha Ford doesn't own the Lions, but it is what it is. Regardless, this ain't a Bears podcast. You guys can figure out your own fucking issues on your own time. That ain't for me to do. Vikings, on the other hand, defense finally showed some cracks. The Vikings defense, for the first time this season, I thought looked very beatable. And I didn't get a chance to watch. I heard, though, did Darnold at one point get hurt during this game? I think somebody told me he had hurt his shoulder, I believe.
Don't remember.
He wasn't taken out. He was there for overtime.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know.
David Montgomery got injured his shoulder.
David Montgomery did hurt his shoulder, Mike, and that is an excellent segue into the next game that we will talk about. That the fact that the Lions had another successful game this weekend, going up against the Indianapolis Colts in the loud house, in the house that McAfee built, knocking off Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts to the final score of 24-6. Kind of a ho-hum game, in my opinion. Nothing really too exciting happened. A lot of injuries. That's the thing that's kind of making me a little uncomfortable, as Khalif Raymond ended up going down at one point. Taylor Decker got hurt at one point. David Montgomery got hurt at one point. Carlton Davis got hurt at one point. So this is going to be the biggest thing for the Lions, is to see if they can fucking stay healthy at this point. So we'll see. I think I've talked enough. FGK, what are your thoughts on the Lions game, my friend?
Anthony Richardson is a big, scary quarterback. He's got to get that throwing in. Thank God. Also, I did my usual thing of going to the Colts and checking out their social medias and stuff. And I don't know the Colts like personally very well. I will say, as far as refereeing go, the Lions know it best. We have it worst. I think you guys got one bad call on you. It was the roughing the passer one where he like jumped on top of him near like the end zone. Even I was kind of like, yeah, that was kind of dumb. But all the other holds and shit, it's not bad refereeing. You need to stop going online and saying the reason we lost by so much was because the refs were out to get us. They were not. Your old linemen need to stop grabbing face masks and just do the push thing or whatever you people do. I don't fucking know. I didn't play football.
You people.
I mean,
people?
He's kind of right, though, honestly.
I mean, he's not
like,
wrong.
No, let him cook. Let him cook. He's got a point.
I'm just saying. It's not bad. You guys have one bad call, but bad calls happen every game. All right? And I'm not here to call you out. I hate the Vikings a lot more than they'll ever hate the Colts.
No, I have no issue with the Colts.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with you. All right, we lost to Baker Mayfield. I still think he's hilarious. You tell him that Tony DeVito, whatever, that hand gesture was amazing, and the mafia is apparently out to get him because the reporters were like, "Do you know how insensitive that was?" And he was like, "I know, Tommy. Like, it's okay." They're like, "But you're not Italian." Be like, "Okay."
And
getting off track here. Point is, Colts got out against you. Was not bad refereeing. Good game. Great game to watch. Who knows? Maybe next year will be your year. It might not be, but who knows?
They got to win for Pat McAfee. They really do, man. That poor bastard is losing his mind every time he opens up the stream.
Yeah.
It's a very, very quick week for the Lions. Like I said, nothing really too special happened here. There's really not that much to talk about. Two touchdown perform. What?
Well, and it's not special. It's just, I love the fucking spirit of it. I love, I watched the beginning of his career. And I watched him be so fucking mid and then get to the Lions and become what he is now. And then his attitude for this fucking game coming up. David Montgomery going, yeah, I hurt my shoulder. I'll be good to go for Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not a, I'm going to try. He's making sure, like, I think he's still a bit salty, and I think he's going to fucking run through the Bears.
He's like, I'll be there.
I will say this, too. When he went, like, the injuries are starting to pile up. You're like, I'm glad you guys are playing aggressive. I'm glad you're playing hard. I love it. Let's slow down the injuries. And when Montgomery went out, my heart sank. Not my beloved freight train. How is this man going to run a hole through Caleb Williams? Well, actually, he wouldn't do that because they're both on offense, but that wouldn't work. That's not the point. I don't know any other players on the Bears that he could run through, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm glad he's back. Glad he's got that grit. I love to see it. I am, however, worried for Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving curse is a thing, but also the Bears are just as banged up. So I'm going in cautiously optimistic is the right way to put it.
People have often asked me as of late, since I'm starting to grow as a content creator a little bit more, and for some reason that makes people feel more comfortable to talk to me, like at work and stuff. I don't like it. Don't talk to me. I'm a very antisocial person. Let me listen to my music. Jesus Christ. Regardless, when I
talk to you more now,
Mike, stop it. I cannot overstate to people how good the Lions are doing right now. We have been, as an organization, we have gone 10-1 only one other time in the entirety of the Detroit Lions existing, and that one time was before my fucking grandfather was born. The last time the Lions went 10-1 as an organization was 1934.
90 years ago.
The Lions are on a legendary run right now. The little brother, Kevin, you fucking worded it perfectly a couple, either last week or a couple weeks ago or whatever. Don't matter. The Lions are finally, they were the little brother, and they're all grown up now. And these teams gotten used to picking on the little kid that they can just throw around, and now they don't know what to fucking do with themselves anymore. We are bullying teams. We finally become all grown up, and it feels freaking amazing. And again, holy cannolis, can the injuries stop? Please, that's all I'm asking. And I think another team who's asking that exact same question would be the team that put on an absolute fucking clinic on Sunday night, and in that same effort, losing veteran player Brandon Graham in the process to a torn tricep that'll have him out for the remainder of the season. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, Mr. Era.
Yeah. That's, I mean, that is a big that is a big loss. I don't know if it will be one that is really felt too much in the outcome of the games, just because of who we have later on the schedule. But the injuries are definitely something that's on the mind right now, because not just Brandon Graham, but also Slay is out on defense, and Devontae Smith is out, wide receiver. He's out on former Heisman winner Devontae Smith. So some weapons that are out, but hopefully will be back this week. Hopefully, but still questionable. But kind of the story of the night coming out of the game is Saquon Barkley just continuing to set records. So Saquon Barkley has set the franchise record for total yards in a season for the Eagles. Currently, he's also, I want to mind you, he's also currently the first in the NFL as well. Would anybody like to guess at how many yards Saquon has?
Ooh, first in the NFL. There's still
more
about
than Caleb Williams.
6 weeks left.
He does have more than Caleb Williams. This is true.
They were doing Price is Right rules now. More than this quarterback.
I'll give you a hint. Wrong, it's Kevin. Very close to the guy who's in second, he will be going up against this weekend.
I'm gonna say 1,300.
You're not far off. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Isn't it like 12-10 or something like that?
It was before that. Right. Or it was before the game.
Oh, 1,350.
Kev, you are the closest. Saquon is sitting at 1,392. Yeah, 1,392. That's a fuck ton. He has obliterated the record set by LaShawn McCoy by about 300 yards. That was set in 2013.
Oh, shady McCoy.
Yeah, shady. And then we also had some good, Devontae Smith was out, but A.J. Brown caught some passes. I think he came out a little over 100 yards, got a touchdown in there. So always good to see. The Eagles are in this point where I have come to full acceptance that my butthole will be as tight as possible the entire game. They are going to play the full 60 minutes. They are going to need the full 60 minutes. And they are constantly going to shoot themselves in the foot and somehow walk away from it. That's the season we're going to have.
At 9-2, I'd say so far you're doing a pretty good damn job of that, dude.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing, is that it's like I'm sitting here and I'm watching these games and I'm like, God damn, this fucking sucks. I hate watching this. I hate that we can't get a fucking touchdown in the first quarter of the game for like the entire season, except for like, I think 1 week we did it. Every other week we haven't. And it's like, I hate that that's the case, but we're still winning.
Still winning and get the job done. And you got it done.
Yeah, I guess it works. Nick Sirianni, I mean, he is sitting at one of the highest win percentages right now in the NFL. So it's like, I guess. I mean, we'll wait until we start losing and it'll be heads on pikes again. But at least for right now, the pitchforks are down, the torches are put out. We're cool hanging out watching football.
The one thing I can tell you that you should hang your hat on is that a 17-point win against probably I guess now the best team you've faced in maybe since the Bengals. So in about 4 weeks at a 17-point win, that's damn good. That is an amazing win. However, your game next weekend is going to be a little bit harder, in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, going up against the Ravens, and this is where I'm saying, like, it's really gonna matter. Like, do we have Devontae Smith back? Do we have Darius Slade back? Like, we're gonna need to be as close to. I legitimately think with Saquon Barkley, we could beat the Ravens. Saquon is better than Derrick Henry, but I don't know that we can beat the Ravens with just Saquon. You know what I mean? Like, we need to bring everybody. The Eagles can beat the Ravens right now. But if they're not 100%, the Eagles aren't beating shit.
And that's what circles back into what I mentioned to you guys on stream over at twitch.tv/JackalJoker. The Baltimore Ravens, a stat was announced, I believe, on an episode of Pat McAfee last week. They were going over rankings of teams, and the worst passing defense in the NFL, 32nd, I'll say that again, worst, is the Baltimore Ravens. So, unfortunately, I think on Sunday, you are probably going to have to rely on the arm of Jalen Hurts as opposed to the leg of Saquon Barkley. And we will see December 1st, the start of the holiday season, at 4:25 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yep, you know what I'm doing.
Real quick, going over some other games that happened this most recent weekend. Jameis ended up knocking off the Steelers in a trap game in the coolest game of the weekend. Jameis, still my favorite player in the NFL, throwing a pass to an offensive lineman and then getting mad at the offensive lineman for catching it. My favorite fucking thing that happened. Beating the Steelers 24-19.
Kev said it best while it was happening. It's not that the game is any better than any of the rest of the games, but man, a snow game is just so fucking fun.
It's so fun.
It really is.
My favorite game to watch.
It's such a joy. Like, it's just, you're watching, you're like, man, this is great.
And like, they were having fun in the snow too. So like, when they're, it's just one of those things.
There was one person who wasn't having fun. George Pickens was beating the shit out of one of the Browns players in the end zone after the end of the game.
I'm so happy you finally got to see that and see what I was talking about. Oh, man. I love George Pickens. Pickens is Antonio Brown Jr.
Russell Wilson threw up the Hail Mary right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you can see in the back, once it's over, the Browns bat it down or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once they showed George Pickens with his helmet off in the back of the end zone with a bunch of security holding him back because he was beating the shit out of a Browns cornerback for no reason other than the fact that he didn't get a chance to catch the ball.
Oh my God.
It's so fucking funny.
And the other thing is, he never gets fined.
No, never. 100% he should have gotten
George Pickens things.
It was so funny, dude. I mean, there's no place for it in the NFL. However, keep doing it so I can laugh at it on TikTok, please.
Oh my God, yeah, they're holding him back. I'm watching the clip.
He has gotten into a fight in like 5 games. Like, I'm not joking when I say he's Antonio Brown Jr.
They are holding him back fully. Oh my God.
Teams that probably should have gotten to a fight with each other. The Tennessee mayonnaise drinkers ended up knocking off the Houston CJ Strouds to a final score of 32-27 in a game that fucking shocked
You cannot
everybody.
Call them mayonnaise drinkers.
Will Levis drinks his coffee with mayonnaise. I will not let that man live that down.
Wait, what?
Show me your proof right now. Show me that this man puts mayo in his coffee.
Google 3 words. Right the fuck Will now. Levis mayonnaise.
Will Levis mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is a weird thing to Google.
Oh my God. Oh.
I know Jackal's the silly NBC goofy guy.
Too. Will Levis gets lifetime Hellman's deal for using mayo in coffee. What the fuck?
Jackal's the silly goofy guy. But I don't pull that out of my ass. I said that for a reason.
What the? This dude's a sociopath. This dude's a psycho.
I'm uncomfortable with the environment we've created today.
It's even worse because he sucks at football too. So it's like he's doing it to be weird and not get a good NFL contract either.
Dude, him and Aaron Rodgers. Why are quarterbacks drinking weird shit?
Oh, they're white, probably.
No, drinking mayonnaise is some white ass shit.
Drinking really mayo is the whitest shit you can do.
That is like
fucking
white,
cayenne pepper.
That is the whitest of white.
The Patriots ended up getting the brakes beat off them by the Dolphins to a score of 34-15. Turns out all Tua needed was another concussion to remember how to play football real good.
Concussive maintenance.
Dolphins are starting to get a little scary. Like, Dolphins are starting to become a team that made it to the playoffs last year, and they're reminding teams now. I think they could sneak in at like a 7-6 seed and might be able to upset somebody on the AFC side. Absolutely. Very glad they're not on the NFC side. Very happy about that.
Yeah, I got enough teams to worry about on the NFC side.
Yeah, please. Speaking of teams that we don't have to worry about on the NFC side, everybody's favorite team, the Carolina Panthers, was one field goal away from knocking off the Kansas City.
I would have. Oh God, I'd be smiling. I would have gone out drinking. They still, mind you, they still almost barely lost to a very low team. They barely beat a low team. But I wish they would have beat them.
Kevin, I would have been so happy if the Chiefs would have lost to the Panthers that I would have signed over the rights to Sasha Christ to you. 100%.
Oh, God, I'm so glad you would give me back what's mine anyway. But
oh my God. The Tony Danza Giants did get the brakes beat off them by the Buccaneers 30-7. The Broncos are having a very quietly good season as they sweep the Raiders this year 29-19.
Well, that's sweeping. That's like sweeping. That's like knocking over a kid with no legs, you know?
Well, I'm not saying they're having a sneaky good season because they swept the Raiders, because right now the Broncos are 7-5. When I think Vegas had their win total this year set at 3. So, oof. Yeah, they're already beating expectations set on them. So I'd say it's pretty good.
Talk about Vegas just giving you the middle finger. Good Lord.
Speaking of middle fingers, Seattle poo-pooed on the Cardinals to a score of 16-6. Turns out Kyler Murray was getting ready for the Call of Duty double XP weekend this weekend.
Understandable.
Not focusing on football, turns out. The 49ers got the absolute dog shit beaten out of them by the Packers to a score of 38-10. Makes me real happy knowing that. I put this in the group chat and nobody responded to it, but I want to get it on air. When the Lions go back there in December, it's going to feel like Thor to Thanos at the beginning of Endgame, where Thanos is there just beaten to a pulp, can't even move, got one fucking arm, so what if you kill me? The damage has already been done. And we just go there and we fucking take them out regardless, because I don't care that the Niners are hurt. I don't care that their whole roster might have given up at this point already, because I think the Niners are 5-7, already losing 3 more games than they did last year. I want the Lions to take them out. I want the Lions to win, and I want the Lions to make it bloody, because that's what the 49ers deserve. And the final NFL game happening right now as we speak, the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Jim Harbaughs, and the Jim Harbaughs have marched the opening kickoff down the field. The score is 7-0 in the first quarter. I have always said on this podcast, when things are boring, I've called things boring, and I'm often wrong when I do call things boring. They end up being extremely, extremely exciting, especially when it comes to the world of college football. I know we got a bit of a longer one here, so I'll make the college football talk a wee bit quicker since I know, oh boy, at least one of our teams is doing something worthwhile over the next couple of weeks. And it ain't my team. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, sorry about the season you guys had. At least it's almost done though.
It's all good. It's all good. If I end up crying because of this season, at least I can cry into a national champions t-shirt. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
See, what you guys don't know, because I know nobody out here is buying Michigan merch except for me and Mike. When you flip the shirt inside out, it says actually, we knew all the plays all along, idiots. Ha ha, we got it. Bozo, bozo, bozo. We win, you lose. Neener, neener, neener.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a trade secret, but I figured, we're getting a little closer on the podcast. Yeah.
That other side of the shirt that you had to sign. That was a contract. You weren't supposed to say anything.
Oh no.
Well, you guys can cry into your NDA containing national championship t-shirts, and Penn State can cry into our victory bell, and it can hold all of our tears because we beat Minnesota for the victory bell, which I didn't even remember was a rivalry game that we had.
Was way closer than I expected it was ever.
Yeah, hold on. I wouldn't say beat. I'd say you survived Minnesota.
Oh yeah, survived is a good way to put it. And honestly, our fault. Because nothing about that game was good. The game was good, but the way that fundamentally the football was not. It was very messy. There were a lot of penalties and things like that. A lot of Penn State 4th and 1. Not a huge fan of that because Penn State they're not a fan of doing the tush push. They just don't really have the personnel to do it. They do it sometimes, but it's not as successful. So I'd like to see a lot more 3rd down conversions out of them rather than having it go 4th and 1. I mean, they're still converting on 4th down too, but still just a little inefficient. But there was a really nice 45-yard touchdown from Amari Evans. DeLuca on defense, he got an interception for a touchdown. Tyler Warren though just continues to bail us out, like legitimately. That's what that game was Tyler Warren bailing us out. Drew Aller had a little bit of a temper tantrum. Our quarterback, he had a little bit of an oopsie doos, and he tried to call a timeout, but the refs didn't see him call the timeout. So a little bit of miscommunication, and he kind of went over and like slammed his helmet down, and TV being TV, they put cameras on him right away.
Sweet nothing's in his ear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. George. Yeah. Franklin walked up to him and he said, Drew, suck it up, bitch. You got a game to win. And then Drew Aller came out and played amazingly after that. So he just needed. That was kind of like the reset. And that's kind of when we started doing it. There was hey Kev, your favorite thing, a little fumble rooski do.
Ooh,
there was a little fumble rooski that was recovered by Penn State to start the 4th quarter.
Fumble rooski.
Fumble rooski.
I'm calling it now. Every time I see that commercial, I feel like Andy Reid is sexually assaulting me. I hate that goddamn commercial.
So does everybody else now. If you check the most recent TikTok I tagged in. I think Penn State is going to be a lock for this year's college football playoff because I believe at this point they are locked out of the Big Ten championship game. I believe it is confirmed to be Ohio State and Oregon again.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that.
I think the only way is if you win and somehow another team wins. I don't know who Ohio State plays on Saturday. Like I said, I'm too busy doing something else. So Penn State should be a lock for the college football playoffs. Regardless, we'll find out not this weekend, not next weekend, but the second Tuesday in December. We should be able to find out when.
Oh, next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, there you go. Now that's the way, Mike. There was a bunch of upsets that were occurring this weekend.
Yeah, this was another wild weekend.
I swear to God, it's every time when I say, oh, nothing exciting is going to happen. It's pretty boring. It's the cupcake week. It's pretty boring. I swear to God, every week I've said that. The following weekend is just upset-a-mania is running wild. Because yet again, Alabama ends up going down. Down to the opponent that they were playing, and that would have been the Oklahoma Sooners. It was not close. 24-3. And gentlemen, we live in a world where every single person, every single team that was in... 3 out of the 4 teams that were in the college football playoffs last year are not going to be competing for a national championship this year. And I think that's awesome for the sport.
It's wild is what I have loved this season for the amount of just wacky fucking endings to games. There are games where I was like, okay, like Georgia should win by 1 million. Alabama should win by at least 50. And then they lose. They just lose for no reason. I love it.
We are 100% in a new era of college football now, and I think that is amazing for the sport. A couple other games that ended up happening. The BYU Cougars ended up losing to Chad and Kroger, the frat boys, otherwise known as the Sun Devils, to a score of 23-28. Arizona State, oddly enough, now the front runner to win the Big 12. The Big 12 is just trying their best to just give the championship game away to the next person. Nobody wants to win the Big 12, and it's very confusing at this point.
Well, because the Big 12's fucking dead.
No, it is. It is. As soon as Texas and Oklahoma left, they went, we got nothing.
We got nobody. We got basketball schools. Ooh.
I have a pack of gum and some Tic Tacs. What do you got?
They're like a week old Tic Tac, too, and they've been in the car for a little bit.
I got a Colorado Buffaloes team that's probably not going to be worth a shit this time next year. They're
barely worth a shit now. Didn't you see this game?
Yeah, they lost to the Kansas Jayhawks 21-37.
That Kansas team, I think that Kansas team might have been paid for something because, man, were they trying to murder Shador.
The Kansas team needs to probably be tested for PEDs because they've upset 3 out of the last 3 teams they've played. They've played 3 ranked teams in a row. They've upset each and every single one of them, and they have not been close. Colorado being this most recent one does kind of officially knock Colorado out of the college football playoffs as well, because I believe this is their third. As Travis Hunter, Shador, and I'm gonna stake my claim on it, and also Deion Sanders all probably get ready for the NFL. Colorado is going to be a shell of its former self this time next year.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna go back to being another team where it's like, oh, you're what, 3-9? Good for you, asshole.
Oh, you tried.
The interesting game, I've said interesting so much. It was such an interesting weekend.
It was.
The other big upset of a team that knocked out of the college football playoffs officially is the number 9 ranked Ole Miss Rebels, as they went down to Florida. They went into the swamp to take on Dan Lanning and the Florida Gators. Number 9 ranked Ole Miss ends up going down to the unranked Florida Gators 24-17 in a fucking trap game in the swamp. Everybody kind of saw it coming. The thing that I made a little note in the group chat of something I want to talk about is that on College Game Day, the little pre-show of everything, they had Dan Lanning on to talk to McAfee, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Desmond Howard, all the whole table of personalities that they have to be able to entertain everybody while they're waking up, getting ready for a full day of college football, whatever. They had Dan Lanning, I think he was at the 30-yard line. His placement doesn't matter. They had him throw a football from very far away to try to hit the goalpost. McAfee said, hey, Dan, if you do this right now, I'll turn around, I'll donate $1 million to hurricane relief. They didn't plan for it. They didn't prep him. They just did it. Went out there, threw it. He was close. Afterwards, he ends up texting Kirk Herbstreit, and he says, oh, you should give me one more shot. And he goes, whatever. Lane Kiffin, the coach of Ole Miss, texts Kirk Herbstreit, and he says, oh, you should have had me out there. I would have made it. One of the co-hosts on the panel, his name escapes me at the moment, one of the co-hosts goes, well, hey, Lane, instead of doing that, you should probably be focused on getting Ole Miss their first SEC championship in 60 years instead of worrying about what we're doing on the pre-show. Only for Lane Kiffin to turn around and lose that game. So I thought that fucking comment beforehand was fucking savage, especially since Lane Kiffin did not go out there and back it up afterwards. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, done. Nowhere near the SEC title, nowhere near the college football playoffs. This shit is gonna get interesting, my boys.
It shows you where their focus is, for sure.
It really is. Like, you're sitting here worried about the pre-show. Like, my brother in Christ, you need to be worried about your team, my friend.
Yeah, you're the fucking head coach of a college football team who's about to play college football in like 2 hours. Don't you have shit to do?
Not watching the damn pre-show.
Come on, what could be more important than that?
Texas A&M losing another football game? Officially knocking themselves out of college football playoff contention because they went into Auburn Stadium. Auburn is notorious for being a trap game stadium at night. Goes down to the Tigers, 41-43, capstoning a full day of upsets because that's it. No other ranked games happen. Nope.
So what do we got looking forward?
Not any team in Ohio or anything.
Oh, why? What? I think you might be missing something, huh?
No, I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. Nope. There's specifically a hole.
Ohio's not a real place.
No, see, it's made up.
You want to talk about the Rizzler again? Bringing up Ohio?
No, please. Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll talk about Ohio State then. Oh, Jesus Christ. To the surprise of nobody, Ohio State ends up knocking off Indiana to a score of 38-15. I don't know why they're bragging so much. That's not really that impressive of a win. Sure, Indiana was ranked number 5, but before the game, you guys were saying how Indiana has played nobody, so you can't downplay your opponent and also celebrate the fact that that was a big win afterwards. That kind of just seems a little hypocritical in my opinion. But you guys went to Ohio State. I can't fucking convince you otherwise.
Yeah, that's the things. They go to Ohio State. You're never going to convince them. It's like a cult. They drink the fucking Kool-Aid.
When I went down for training, there was a guy from Ohio there, and when he found when he found out I'm from Michigan, the first thing he does is go OH, and I was like, go fuck yourself.
Are you
Thank you.
Fuck yourself.
Thank you. I flipped them off. Jeez, a pig. Now, turning our attention to rivalry week. This is the last official week of the college football regular season. This is the week where they famously say anything can happen.
It's the Raw after Mania?
Pretty much. You got to throw the records out. Is that them trying to save face to get people to watch a certain game that's happening at 12 o'clock on Saturday afternoon? Just so they can keep the ratings and keep the TV stations happy? Probably.
Because everybody already knows what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to lie. If they somehow win, I will shit my pants. Because there is no universe right now that they should have even, like, a touchdown, because that offense, Davis Warren is a poo quarterback. So it's going to be like, okay, we have run game. We have 3 running backs.
Is that good? Yeah.
That's good. That's
running
good
backs
than quarterback.
are useful.
Yes.
If they somehow win this game, I will also shit in Mike's pants, dude. I am just so. No, you heard me. I didn't stutter.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, there are a couple of games happening. We'll hold off on, again, the two obvious ones, because I could tell you for free what's going to happen there. It's not really much of a surprise to anybody. There are, however, a couple of games that I feel we should give our attention to. Starting off with the first ranked matchup of the day at 12 o'clock, we see the Clemson Tigers, the 17th ranked Clemson Tigers, taking on the 18th ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. Mike, who we got?
Oh man, neither of those teams have blown me away. They both started off, well, I should say South Carolina started off all right. Clemson just kind of chugged along. Give me South Carolina choking, and Clemson takes it.
There we go. All right, Mike, you weren't here last week, but maybe you did listen to the episode. I figured out a new way to get Kevin more invested into college football. All right, Kevin, you ready? I'll take that as a no.
Nice. I said yes.
Oh, it did not come through.
It did not.
Yeah, no, you were apparently talking to the moon.
Oh, all right.
All right, this one is the Tigers versus the Cocks again.
Oh my God. Well, I think I say if it was Tiger Cocks, that wins everything.
That'd be very interesting.
Doesn't
sound sanitary.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there to the wild. I mean, I've never seen a chicken beat a lion or a tiger. I have seen a chicken beat a bear though. So thankfully, this is different. That being said, I'm gonna go with the my favorite Kellogg mascot. Give me Tony the Tiger.
Okay. Era.
Yeah, I mean, you said this is the week where anything can happen. I think this is the game where anything can happen, because it could legitimately go either way. That being said, I am a big fan of cock, so give me the Cocks.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. I love saying this on the show where people come listen to me say this word. I want cock. Give me that cock, baby.
Yeah.
My favorite thing ever. Those Gamecocks. I love it. Now, next up is another game that had much bigger implications earlier in the season. But now that the season's gone the way that it did, again, it's kind of cheesy, it's kind of corny. I feel like anything can happen here. And unfortunately, it does not mean much of anything. The stakes for this game have drastically gone down. But I still want to talk about it anyways, because it is up there in quality of rivalry games. Gentlemen, it is the Iron Bowl. And the Iron Bowl is Alabama going up against those Auburn Tigers. 1-on-1 Saturday in the middle slot at 3:30. Mike, who we got?
I think, to me, this one's pretty easy, because after losing all their games, it seems like Alabama gets pissed off and then wins the next one by like 40. So give me Bama.
Okay, Bama. All right, FGK, this one again is the Tigers, but this time they're going up against a bunch of elephants.
I can't do Tigers twice, so unfortunately I've shot myself in the foot. Give me the elephants.
Okay, read you. Era.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's really jumping on the bandwagon or really going with the obvious answer, but I'll take Bama.
I will actually use my pick on the upset pick, gentlemen. Give me Auburn. I was very impressed with what Auburn did against Texas A&M, and I feel like might be a little bit of insider trading here. I'll let you guys figure that one out. Since Alabama has nothing to play for, and since Nick Saban isn't there, I think Kalen DeBoer has a very hard time trying to get his guys motivated, or trying to get his guys to not sit out this game and play in the Iron Bowl. Regardless, we won't know until Saturday at 3:30. Other rivalry games are going on, but I don't feel like there is one as important as a game that hasn't happened in years because of conference realignment, because of one team being in one conference, the other team being in another. Even though they are so close to one another, they have not played each other in, I think, 15 years. So this one is a rivalry renewed. Prime time. College game day will be there. It sees the number 3 Texas Longhorns traveling to the Texas A&M team that just lost to Auburn this Saturday night. Texas A&M. Mike, who we got?
Oh, man, I think Texas right now is in that spot where they can't lose, and I think they keep on wanting to win because they want to make sure they stay near the top so they can get into those college playoffs and fight for the natty. So give me Texas. I think Texas is going to bring all their muscle for this game.
All right, that is Texas. So Kevin, this one is the Longhorns versus the Aggies.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I think their mascot is like a border collie, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like Aunt Ethel or something.
Well, close enough, I guess.
For that reason,
dog form.
just the visceral, give me the Longhorns.
Brother,
Era.
I think when you look at this game, you look at it being a rivalry that is, being renewed. You need something to kind of fuel that, and I think that there's the question of people being like, well, this hasn't happened in 15 years. Why should we care, right? Why should we care? And that question's going to be asked a lot leading up to this game, and then the game's going to happen inside the Texas A&M, inside Aggies, wherever the fuck they play, whatever their field is called.
Oh yeah, that place.
Regardless, I think them being at home is going to be real good grounds for an upset. So give me A&M.
Woo! All right, I like that. I am actually inclined to believe you, and inclined to follow you here, my friend, because I think if the math is mathing here, and I'm not a mathematician, so take my words with a grain of salt, please. I think Texas is a lock for the college football, or sorry, not the college football playoffs, the SEC championship. So I believe they're going to be there regardless. I believe the SEC title game is Texas, Georgia, no matter what. So I think they pull an NFL team who has already made the playoffs, and they go ahead and rest all of their starters before the game that matters. I think A&M gets it here in a game where Texas doesn't try too hard. Yes, I know it's a rivalry renewed. However, this is Texas's next chance. This is their chance for a national title. So I think they're looking towards the future. They're probably going to get skunked by A&M, and I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long run. Real quick, to update you guys on the college football playoff standings and the bracket the way that it's set now. It's going to change over the next couple of weeks, but I'll just blow through it. Right now, the 5 versus 12 matchup is still Ohio State versus Boise State. Penn State, Era, you should wish that this bracket stays the same, because right now Penn State would get SMU at home in the first round.
Yeah, I saw that, and it legitimately made my day better when I saw that during my lunch break. I was like, this is awesome. Please, I'm buying tickets.
That's essentially like Seth Rollins getting into a tournament, and the first round is,
fucking Hornswoggle comes out.
Yeah, like Akira Tozawa. Pre-Gable.
The only thing that could fuck that up for them is if they underestimate them. If Penn State plays to the best, if Penn State plays to the best of Penn State's ability, they win. If they go, oh, it's SMU, and they take it light, that game is an upset waiting to happen.
Then we see Notre Dame traveling to number 10 ranked Tennessee. Tennessee traveling to Notre Dame, not the other way around. And with this bracket, this one is the most odd matchup, as the number 8th ranked Georgia Bulldogs would host number 9 Indiana. But again, with Indiana losing to Ohio State, I feel like they are going to either drop further or fall out entirely. But we'll see when the time comes, I believe tomorrow. So that is a quick update at that. And looking towards the NFL, a bunch of Thursday games because it is Thanksgiving, a Lions tradition to go ahead and lose on that fateful day.
Tradition about to be broken this year.
Yeah, baby. Giants and Cowboys take the middle slot. Packers, Dolphins at night in Lambeau. That's a fine how do you do for Miami traveling up to fucking Green Bay for Thanksgiving at the end of November. However, there are some other games that does deserve our attention this week. I believe we are going to get started. You know what? Let's get started with said Thanksgiving game to give everybody a reason to watch Thanksgiving a little bit more. Gentlemen, Miami, Green Bay, who we got?
Miami, Green Bay.
Don't think too hard.
Well, that's just it. My initial gut, because of how they played earlier, was Green Bay. But this Miami team has gotten a lot better. Got conked enough that it seems like his head's not good, but he can throw a football again. So give me them.
Give me them, Miami. I got you.
Give me them, Miami.
Give me them.
My brain had a goober moment.
FGK Fudge Packers, Dolphins.
I'm not going with what I maybe think is right or what I want. I want the Dolphins to win because I need those Packers to get. No, I don't like how close they are. All right, I like them to get punched down a little bit. That being said, I feel like the Packers haven't played good. But also that being said, I feel like they're not playing fantastic. They're just playing good. I feel like the Dolphins can squeak out a one touchdown game. So let's go Dolphins. Give me good old concussions for the win.
Era.
I agree. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think yes, Tua has been hit in the head enough times where he seems to be, somewhat aligned. He can throw a ball again. I think maybe the last time he got hit, it probably knocked his eyes back into place so that way he can at least, he's not seeing double anymore. But that being said, he's still Tua. And these are still the Miami Dolphins, and they are going to Green Bay at the end of November. I really, 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 really doubt that any of the Dolphins are going to be prepared for that. Give me Green Bay.
As much as I would love to see those damn Packers lose right now, they're hot. They're very hot. They're also playing well too.
Whoa. Do you Jordan love them?
I kind of agree, Era. I think Miami notoriously plays like shit in the cold weather, and I think it's going to be fucking freezing in Green Bay come Thursday. So unfortunately, I think Green Bay is going to win. And I'm also totally not doing any sort of reverse psychology because every single time I've picked Green Bay, they've won. So maybe this time if I pick against them, they'll fucking lose for once. Maybe. Get off the Lions' ass, please. Jesus Lord. Next up, a couple of other games of note I want to take a note at. I like, in the 1 o'clock slot, The Pittsburgh Steelers with former brass knuckle champion George Pickens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, another divisional rival at 1 o'clock
shit out of those DBs
in the afternoon. Steelers Bengals 1 o'clock, gentlemen. Who do we got?
I think that Joe Burrow throws for 487 yards with 5 touchdowns. Jamar Chase gets 260 yards of reception, and they lose 42 to 47.
Pittsburgh. Oh my goodness, that is a shootout game.
I lied. I take that back. You're right. That's a fair point. You brought up a very good point. Pittsburgh doesn't know how to get a touchdown.
They do not. They do not.
Oh, fuck. I don't know now. I completely forgot about that. I forgot they have Russell Wilson throwing a football, and he forgot how. Somebody get him to a protocol.
Don't think too hard.
I don't want to pick who wins. I just want to know. I know George Pickens is going to get in a fight, and Jamar Chase is going to get like 2 touchdowns.
Okay, so I'm going to write in the referees for Mike. Got it. FGK, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Honestly,
Steelworkers versus Tigers.
Same thing for Mike. It's Joe Burrow's going to have another like 500 passing yards. He dodges, not sacked once. But they're going to lose the Steelers by it's going to be 6-3. So give me the Steelers.
6-3.
Joe Burrow.
You know what?
Joe Burrow with an amazing game, and Steelers win with just a low scoring game.
Sets the record for passing yards.
Only 3 points.
Only 3 points.
Mr. Era.
I think the one thing that everybody, as much as I hate to say it, the one thing that everybody is forgetting to say is that these are the Steelers, the same team that beat the Ravens and the same team that beat the Commanders. I think they can handle Cincinnati. I really don't want to say that Pittsburgh's going to win just because I hate Pittsburgh on a fundamental level. On any plane of existence, I will hate Pittsburgh. But I think when they go up against Cincinnati, I think they come out on top.
You know what? Joe Burrow has been struggling for too long. He gets his get back against Pittsburgh. I like Cincinnati here, baby. Here we go, Bengals. Here we go. And we are going to stick with the NFC North for pick'ems, with the other game happening on Sunday is the Cardinals versus the Vikings. 1 o'clock. Kyler Murray does have a Call of Duty double XP weekend to go through, so who knows if he's going to be actually ready enough and studied enough to play this game. We'll find out come Sunday. Cardinals, so right. Vikings. Who do we got and why?
Oh, I have the Vikings. They all of a sudden they realize that Cam Akers is a good running back, so they've been using him for everything they can't use Captain Gives up a lot for. Because Aaron Jones, once it gets about halfway through a season, goes, I'm sleepy, and then he quits.
I don't want to play.
Yeah. It's a notorious thing that's happened. He did all right last game, but, I mean, so did Cam Akers, and they still have Justin Jefferson getting covered by, 3 guys every game now?
Yeah,
so
that sounds
all
about
the other
right.
receivers just jog around and catch balls all day. Sam Darnold has 400 passing yards because he just threw a ball up in the air. I think the Vikings win this one pretty easily.
FGK?
Same thing with the... it's going to be the Packers. I'm sorry, Packers. I was thinking it's going to be the same thing as the Packers. They're going to cash in their NFL in the bank. It's going to be the same thing as the Packers, where I would love for the Vikings to lose. Get the fuck off our ass, all right? I know you guys are like the quietest 9-2 team in NFL history.
Yeah.
But I want the Cardinals to win. However, I do believe the Vikings are going to win.
Okay, Mr. Era.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about that double XP weekend. Kyler Murray, there seems to be a little bit there when there's new Call of Duty release or a new, might be a little busy. So give me the Vikings.
Don't worry, Kyler. I believe in you, friend. You just got the dog shit beat out of you by the Seahawks. I think you get your bounce back against Minnesota. Please, can somebody beat a team in the NFC North? Please, 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 please. The Eagles are basically the only team that frickin' did it for us. Can somebody else beat a team in the NFC North? Anybody, please.
Kyler Murray has dark matter yet?
Oh, probably, knowing him.
He probably get it the first weekend.
You know what? Actually, I'm switching, because if he has dark matter, he's really probably not going to care about this double XP weekend too much. Yeah. Give me Arizona. I flopped.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
I switched him. I convinced him. Let's go. And gentlemen, that is it for the Pick'ems. That is 3 in college, 3 in the NFL. The college slate coming to an end this weekend as we look forward towards the college football playoffs. Professional, still a long way to go. And we won't be able to find out until this episode comes to an end. I think I am all good. What about you guys?
I'm good. I've laid down the past 2 weeks, so I'm not laying down this week.
Well, I think if you at home enjoyed today's episode, I want to make sure that you smash that like button over on YouTube. We are in fact a 5-star podcast. Yeah, so you better be giving us that 5 stars over on Spotify. Like Mike said in a previous episode, if we don't, I get flogged. I'm hard, but I'm also very nervous about that fact too. So if you could do your boy a solid, I'd really that 5 stars would be amazing.
Do your boy a solid before he gets a solid.
On Spotify Mobile, there is a comment section there if you guys want to know, I don't know, maybe my favorite food this time. Well, I'll tell you all about it on next week's episode.
Hold on there. We actually we have a comment. This comment comes to us from First Name Last Name. They have a comment about the Costco guy, so I hate to bring this back up. I don't really want to start another discussion 2 hours in, but First Name Last Name says Costco guys in AEW, kind of like when ICP and Beetlejuice pulled up to WCW.
What the fuck?
Hold on. Well, yeah, Beetlejuice is weird, but like at least, just they need to go away. They just need to.
Oh, Mike, you said Beetlejuice is the weird one? The fucking AAA movie and not the fat fucks from Michigan rapping about magnets?
No,
Beetlejuice is the weird one?
No, not Beetlejuice, the AAA movie.
No, not that guy.
From Howard Stern.
Yeah.
What? There's another Beetlejuice?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And also,
hey, sorry, first name, last name.
Hold on. Insane Clown Posse also has their own wrestling promotion, and they've been in the game for, 25 years now?
Yeah, I mean, they did actually wrestle, too, which, they had their own wrestling promotion. But,
with that sentence being true, it does not change the validity of what I said.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but hey, we're also, if we're not just on YouTube and Spotify, we are there. Definitely check us out there. We're also everywhere else you get your podcast. And we're on Twitter, and we're on Blue Sky at 3 Counting Out Pod on Twitter and Blue Sky. Please follow us on Blue Sky. Huh?
I said I need to get a Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, you should get a Blue Sky. Yeah, it's like Twitter before Elon bought it. So good Twitter.
Boring.
Yeah.
I want. Where's all? That means there's no bots on there.
Yeah,
exactly. There's no bots. Thank God.
I want all the bots that like all my posts that are obviously not real. And no, I'm not gonna, buy subscribers. Stop asking me.
There's no hot young singles in my area.
I would prefer all bots to stay away from me on the internet. But if you're a real person, you can find me over at twitch.tv/EraV1 or at youtube.com @EraV1Music.
Oh, I just found out there's no hot and horny MILFs in my area, so twitch.com/JackalJoker or twitch.tv/JackalJoker if you need a place to send your condolences.
I am the hot single MILF in your area. I'm Mike, and find me here. Just listen on all platforms and rate us on every single one.
We do have people who listen to us on iHeartRadio and Apple. So
shout out iHeartRadio.
Shout out.
I'm usually watching the hot single in my area, and his name is Mike. What the fuck was that? Hello.
What?
I think someone just passed out in the background somewhere.
The aliens are here.
What the fuck is in
They're
Discord
coming
right
from
now?
the oceans.
That's Beetlejuice.
That is not Michael
That's
Keaton.
Beetlejuice. I put a picture of Beetlejuice in the group chat for those that can't see our group chat.
You mean to tell me that's Michael Keaton?
Hold on.
Keaton
I want to
really
let's sidearm all this real quick.
It's a 2-hour episode, 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Go watch the episode on Howard Stern with him. They ask him basic math questions.
Uh-oh.
Whew. What's the number between 5? What are the numbers between 5 and 12? 37.
I was Batman.
All right, you know what?
He wore a Superman costume in WCW, but like a shitty Halloween costume one where it had like fake muscles on it.
What in the fuck?
Fuck. If you lay down, nope. It's my turn this week. I saw Black Michael Keaton that looks like he was stuck in the microwave too long.
Stop
no,
calling
I'm
him
on
Black
the floor
Michael
this
Keaton.
week.
That is Beetlejuice. Stop calling him Black Michael Keaton.
It looks like he got left in the microwave too long. I was supposed to be 10 minutes ago. For fuck's sake.
Black Michael Keaton.
Somebody else's turn to fucking pin me now.
Well, you know, I've been pinned the last few weeks. I feel like it's finally time I get one. I'm just gonna lay right down here. Don't worry, I'll make you look good. I'm gonna hook the leg. Yeah, there you go. Oh, got that cover, baby.
1, 2, 3. There it is. We're gonna end it there.
Yeah, I kicked out 3.2. 3.2.
Hey, Jackal.
Yeah.
Jackal. Do you know what Beetlejuice's nickname was from Jeff Jarrett?
Batman?
Slap nuts.
Ow! Oh! Ow! Ow! Why did you slap my cock? Ow!
It's his nickname, Slap Nuts.
Oh, you've missed my nuts though. Oh,
he got a big cock. Got in the way.
Oh,
sorry,
you got
King.
Full shaft. Ow! Oh,
Like one of those door stoppers.
Oh, I'm lightheaded. Oh.